Welcome back into the channel, my friends. It's your boy Steve from Straight Fire Picks. We're back with your best bets for the NBA playoffs. Here for you today on Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. NBA player props, spreads, totals, predictions. As always, 3 picks in the video. Let's lock in and get this sweep.
Well, my presence isn't real. It's another bad one like this is scale. It's straight fire. All my bets straight from. You're in the house that cab made now. Straight fire.
As always, my friends, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button for me. Always appreciate that. On the road to 10,000 subscribers. Appreciate all of your guys' support. Guys, we're bringing the dude hat here to our NBA video. Guys, we tried 2 different hats yesterday. The dude hat worked in Major League Baseball. You got the 3-0 sweep. The towel hat did not quite work in the NBA, guys. It was a flop. We ended up going 1-2 in the NBA. So let's do a quick recap from yesterday in the NBA. Like I said, 1-2. Really thought we were there, though, with these picks. But unfortunately, we didn't get them all to quite go our way. The Warriors plus 6.5 spread. That was about as sweat-free as it gets. They did end up winning straight up, kind of like what we talked about there. The road team so far is 5-0 so far in the second round of the playoffs, guys. The Pacers also won, which we told you that game would probably be close as well when we took Halliburton's over 14.5 rebounds and assists. But Hallie got the rebounds. You guys remember, our conversation about the rebounds and how his rebound chances would go up? They absolutely did. He ended up finishing with 9 rebounds. If I told you he had 9 rebounds, you'd say he probably cashed over 14.5 rebounds and assists, right? No. He ended up finishing with just 4 assists. It was Andrew Nembhard that had like 14 assists. So do I think we had the wrong play? No. It was just really unfortunate that Nembhard was the guy running the show. Obviously, that hurt. Very unfortunate. Jay McDaniels, over 20.5 PRAs, had 16 heading into the fourth and got all the minutes in the fourth quarter. Played the entire fourth quarter, so the minutes were certainly there. Obviously, he had some opportunities in the fourth, just missed. So, he finished with 17, I believe. So, obviously, really unfortunate stuff, guys, that we didn't get there. I didn't think the reads were bad on that level yesterday. And I would tell you if they were. But, obviously, McDaniels had the minutes like we talked about, like we thought he might. He had played big minutes. Halliburton, like I said, with the Pacers keeping it close, the game being as high scoring as was, him getting all those rebounds. The fact he didn't get 6 assists is wild to me, but he didn't. So it is what it is. But like I said, 1-2 in the NBA. As far as our Comet Cappers go, Comet Cappers had a pretty solid day. We had got to get the bag, calling Donovan Mitchell over 27.5 points. We'd love to see it. Mystery Mountain calling Anthony Edwards under 40.5 PRAs. Cashes that as well. Mike Crone calling Andrew Nembhard over 12.5 points. This guy had a crazy stat line. 13 points, 13 assists. I forget how many rebounds, but I think 7 rebounds. He had a crazy stat line. And then Milo calling Anthony Edwards over 6.5 rebounds. He finished with 14. So some sweat-free cashes there, guys. We'd love to see it, guys. So great call. It's from our chat. Like I said, we have the dude hat out, guys. We're ready to lock in with the dude hat. The dude hat did pretty good yesterday. Let's see if we can have another great day today. And carry that over into the NBA today. So let's get after it today, guys. Let's get right into our picks here. At number 1, we are going with Nikola Jokic, over 13.5 rebounds here for the Denver Nuggets. We got plus 105 odds on ESPN Bet. So first of all, I love the value here that you're getting on Jokic for plus value. Let's take a look at his logs versus OKC this season. He's had game logs of 12, 20, 13, 18, and 22. For rebounds. So obviously he's been there in every single game versus OKC. He's been at least close to this line, and he's had a couple games where he's had 20 plus rebounds. So obviously love seeing that. In game 1 he had 22 rebounds. So almost 10 more than what we're asking for here. Now the line is set to this, I think in big part because we could see Jokic not play in the fourth if this turns into a blowout. But like I said in the Pacers game, I don't think we'll see that happen. I think the Nuggets will once again be competitive here in Game 2. I think OKC wins, but I think the Nuggets will be there. I think they'll be hanging around like the Pacers did in Game number 2. At the end of the day, guys, we're talking about the second round of the playoffs. We're talking about teams that are pretty good at this point and teams that are playing pretty confident. So I don't see the Nuggets getting blown out here. This team obviously is riding a really high wave right now. with the way Aaron Gordon's been playing, with the way Westbrook's been playing, Jokic obviously doing his thing. I don't see a team like that getting blown out, even versus a Thunder team that obviously is projected to win this game by a lot of points. They're 10.5-point favorites. I still see the Nuggets showing up for this one and trying to go for the jugular in Game 2. Because if they win Game 2, the series feels like it might be on the edge of over. Just in terms of what the Thunder would have to do the rest of the series to win the series. Obviously having to win a couple games in Denver. So I think the Nuggets, obviously, if they're going to win this series, I think they got to win Game 2. I think the Thunder, obviously, are the Thunder. They're a great basketball team. But obviously, I think you'll see Jokic on the floor for a lot of this game, like he was in game number 1. I think you'll see a lot of Nikola Jokic. At the end of the day, this is just a great matchup for him. His rebound chances in every single one of those Thunder game logs that I was talking to you guys about, he's ranged from 21 to 31 rebound chances in every single game. So a minimum of 21 rebound chances. So obviously, I love seeing that. His averages versus the Thunder this year are 17 rebounds per game on 25.6 rebound chances per game. Those numbers are just insane, guys. So once again, I think you're going to obviously see him on the glass. His matchups are really, really good inside versus either Holmgren or Hartenstein. And I think he'll be able to get some, obviously some more rebounds in this one. Honestly, like I said, I like it even more with it being the playoffs. He's coming off 22 rebounds in game 1. I'm not surprised that he had his rebound high versus his team in a playoff game. Because obviously his minutes go up, the defensive intensity goes up, which leads a lot of times to more misses. So we're not surprised to see the rebound chances and opportunities go up for him. I think he could be sniffing around 20 rebounds again. Especially, like I said, if this game, as long as this game stays somewhat competitive, which I believe it will, I think Jokic obviously goes over here today. And I see the Nuggets here going for the jugular here in game 2. So love it there for number 1 pick, guys. We got Nikola Jokic over 13.5 rebounds here for the Denver Nuggets. Plus 105 odds on ESPN Bet. Kind of similar to what we just talked about, guys. But we got our guy here. This guy's been so good to us this season. I can't begin to tell you how many bets we've cashed with this man. We're going Derek White. Over 5.5 rebounds here for the Boston Celtics. We're going plus 130 odds on FanDuel, risking a unit here. So, really why I'm taking the rebounds primarily is because of the value you're getting. Guys, I am 100% a value better. Meaning, like, if I see a line that's minus 120 versus plus 130, I'm going to try and take that plus 130 line if I can play it. And so here, I think we're in that position here where there's a lot of bets you could take on Derek White today, and I think he'd be in good shape. I think you could take his rebounds line. I think you could take his PRA line. I think you could take his points rebounds line. And I think you could also take his 3-point line as well. I believe he's cashed his 3-point line every game versus the Knicks this year. But I don't love the idea of taking 3-point lines in the playoffs, so that's why the only reason why I'm not really taking it. But he did hit 5 last game versus the Knicks. So line set to 3.5. I believe he's hit it in every single game this year versus the Knicks. But I love the rebounds and I love the value that you're getting here. So if you guys watched last game, Derek White had 11 rebounds. But that's not the first time he's had a big rebounding game versus the Knicks. His last 3 game logs versus the Knicks are 8, 9, and 11. That's well over the number that we need. So obviously, I like seeing that. And like I said, with this being the playoffs, and particularly with him being at home, I like it even more for Derek White, obviously. We took his points and rebounds in game 1. He cashed easily with 30. He put up 19 points and 11 rebounds. So obviously, like I said, there's a lot of plays in play on Derek White. I think his points, like I said, I just listed all the ones you could take on White. But the rebounds holds the most value. At plus 130, that's the best odds you're going to get as far as any line you could take. And I think he goes over again here. I really love what I saw from him in game number 1, where he went up for a rebound amongst 3 Knicks, and he pulled the ball out of the air. It was near the end of the game. And the commentators mentioned that's a man's rebound. I believe it was Reggie Miller that was talking about it. Like, that's a man's rebound. That's exactly what it was. So this guy's obviously a very good rebounder, and especially for a guard. Typically, we don't love taking rebound lines on guards. But in the spot for a guy like Derek White, I really do like it. I think he's going to have a great opportunity. If you look at his rebound chances versus the Knicks over the last 3 games are also wild as well. 12, 18, 19. So he really could have even had more last game. 19 rebound chances last game. I mean, we really only need him to get the bare minimum here. If he gets like 10 rebound chances, we're going to be feeling pretty good about this. And he's been averaging over 16 his last 3 games versus the Knicks, which is crazy when you think about it for a guard. So I think once again he shows up, he gets the rebounds here today. Love it there for number 2 pick, guys. We got Derek White over 5.5 rebounds here for the Boston Celtics, plus 130 odds on FanDuel. Okay, and finally at number 3, this is a completely different angle than you're used to seeing probably from me. We are going Denver Nuggets, New York Knicks, plus 16.5 alternate spread parlay, minus 102 odds on DraftKings. Let me explain to you what that means. You're taking the Nuggets plus 16.5 versus the Thunder. You're taking the Knicks plus 16.5 versus the Celtics. Parlayed those both together, and that gets you to minus 102. Both of those independently are like minus 250-ish odds. So this gets you to minus 102. So is Lightning going to strike here in Game 2 and the Nuggets and the Knicks are going to win and go up 2-0 in the series? No, probably not. We're probably going to be 0 for 2 in that market. I think the Thunder and the Celtics will probably both win. However, we are in the second round of the playoffs, like I mentioned before when we were talking about our Jokic bet, which means both these teams are pretty good at all 4 of these teams are good at basketball, right? I know that's a simple way to say it, but the Nuggets and Knicks are still solid teams, riding really high momentum highs right now. I'm having an issue, guys. Hold on. Man. But obviously there's not a lot of crazy analysis that goes into this other than these teams I think will show up and keep this game competitive. I'm not saying that they win. I'm not even predicting them to win. Do I think it holds an outside chance? Sure. You never know. You saw the Pacers win Game 2. It's not outside the realm to think that it could happen. I mean, I almost honestly thought about, in addition to this, if there was enough value on it, throwing like a really small sprinkle on both of them to win, just to have some extra value on the night. But do I think that happens? No. But I think the Knicks, once again, showed the grit that they have, the fact of how well that they compete, particularly in the fourth quarter. And the same with the Nuggets. We've seen the Nuggets pick up a lot of momentum. Everybody was hating on the Nuggets in the first round, saying, oh, this is the end of the Nuggets. After the Clippers split the series 1-1 in the first 2 in Denver, everyone thought that series was over. Everyone thought the Clippers were going to boat race the Nuggets. Even I did, and it didn't end up happening, particularly after Game 3. And then we saw what the Nuggets did. Winning 3 of the next 4, winning Game 7, and then carried that momentum over into Game 1, winning Game 1. They're going for the jugular, and the Knicks are too. Both these teams, if they're going to win this series, because they are big underdogs, they're not expected to win these series. If they are going to win this series, though, they both really need to win Game 2 as well. I think the expectation is that if you're gonna pull something crazy here, you have to go get it in Game 2. As well, because the Knicks really haven't defended home court all that well, and the Nuggets, the Thunder are coming. You got to get the games that you're able to get. So I think Game 2 is viewed upon as a must-win for every team in this second round. So obviously, I think you'll see both these teams playing that way. I think you'll see Jokic play big minutes. I think you'll see all the main guys get the big minutes. At the end of the day, I love the grit that we've seen from both of these teams. I don't think they get blown out. I just don't see it happening with the momentum they have right now. How confident they're playing, how confident Westbrook is, how confident Aaron Gordon is, how confident Brunson is, Anunoby. I can go on down the line of the talent that both these teams have and the confidence that they're playing with. I think they show up today, and they both keep this relatively close. Now, the 10.5. I had leans on the plus 10.5 on both teams, but I was like, you know what? I like some more points on both sides because I think there's a scenario that they can just barely get beat by like 11 or 12, where they, some fouling happens at the end of the game, and they, end up losing in the last couple minutes. I could see that happening. So that's why I like taking the 16.5 here. I think this gives you a nice cushion here to cash. So love it there for number 3 pick, guys. We're going Nuggets, Knicks, plus 16.5, alternate spread parlay, minus 102 odds on DraftKings, risking a unit there. All right, guys, that's going to do it for our picks. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button for me. Always appreciate that. On the road to 10,000 subscribers. Appreciate all of you guys' support. Guys, the dude hat is alive and well. We are looking to get sweeps in baseball and the NBA today with the dude hat. So let's do it. Let's do it. I don't know. Appreciate you guys, though. Let's have a big day today. Drop your favorite pick down below. Let me know what you're playing. Put a star or an asterisk next to that pick, so I know you want it included in the video. If you want to be a part of our comment capper section, where we give you a shout out for your winning pick in the comment section. So, yeah. Outside of that, though, that is going to do it for me, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.